Here's a sequencing question every yoga teacher should be able to answer. How would you teach a full, balanced class, every move of the spine, every line of the legs, both core actions, without your students putting a single bit of weight on their hands? Today, we are building one together. I'm Sage Rountree. I train yoga teachers through Comfort Zone Yoga's 200 and 300-hour online yoga teacher trainings, my Mastering the Art of Yoga Sequencing mentorship, and The Zone, a community of more than 2,500 teachers. Today's video is for the moment a student walks in with a wrist that's not weight-bearing, or for a beginner's class, or for any week you decide to vary your sequencing with intention. By the end, you'll have a complete hands-free class structure ready to go. Here's why hands-free belongs in your toolkit. Before we get into the structure, let me tell you why I want every yoga teacher to have a hands-free flow ready. This is not a class for one specific student in the room. Reach for it anytime. Weight bearing through the wrists is not the right answer for the people in front of you. Picture who might come through your door. The CrossFitter who came in for recovery and doesn't need another push-up workout. The student rebuilding strength after a wrist surgery. A pregnant student in her third trimester. A student with carpal tunnel or rheumatoid arthritis or a healing fall. The teacher who has been demoing all week and whose own hands need a day off. Every one of those is a hands-free moment. None of them are problems to solve. They're bodies you get to teach. This is also a serve method moment. Serve, structure, experience, repeat, vary, evolve, is the framework I developed for how teachers can design and iterate lessons over time. It asks you to repeat the same lesson plan long enough that students deepen their understanding of it, then vary one element with intention so that the next round teaches something new. A hands-free flow is one of those intentional variations. It can use the same architecture, but use a different door in. Movement optimism is the energy underneath all of it. What your body can do today, taught with confidence, beats what it can't, taught with apology every single time. Now, when I'm building any class, the through line is balance. In my book, The Art of Yoga Sequencing, I wrote, bodies feel better when they move in many different ways and many different directions with attention to balance between work and rest. That sentence is the class planning recipe for us as teachers. The way I check for that balance is the 642 checklist that I created for my own teaching and what I now teach to every cohort coming through my yoga teacher trainings. 6 moves of the spine, 4 lines of the legs, 2 core actions. The checklist is about balanced movement. Counting poses is a different game, and that is not what we're after. 6 moves of the spine: flexion, extension, lateral flexion both sides, rotation both sides. 4 lines of the legs: front, back, inner, outer. And the 2 core actions: stabilization and articulation. Here's the part that surprises new teachers. You can hit every single one of those without putting an ounce of weight onto a wrist. Yes, y'all, it's true. You can teach a class with 0 downward facing dog. The hand-loaded shapes are just one expression of the ways that your body can move. They are not the only expression. Now let's structure this hands-free class. Every class I teach has 4 quarters. Opening, standing or active if you're teaching down on the ground, mat, and finishing. Same architecture, but we'll do it hands-free. Quarter 1, the opening. Begin seated or supine down on your back. You can do cat-cow from seated with your hands resting on your thighs. Seated side bends with one arm overhead. Seated twists with hands at the heart or propped up on the legs. You could do supine knee circles. And then with all of that, by the end of the warm-up, you've already touched flexion, extension, lateral flexion, and rotation, and you started mobilizing through the hips, and the wrists have not borne any load. Quarter 2, the standing portion. This is where some teachers might panic because so much of vinyasa class planning modeling runs through downward facing dog and chaturanga. Strip those out, and you still have the entire standing repertoire. Mountain, crescent, warrior 1, warrior 2, reverse warrior, side angle, triangle, wide-legged forward fold with your hands on your hips or for more spice clasp behind the back, tree, Eagle, you can use arm variations to keep the upper body engaged. Cactus arms, eagle arms, hands at the heart, hands on the hips, holding forearms behind the back to be gentle on the wrists. All 4 lines of the legs get worked. Both core actions show up. To replace the cardiovascular feel of a sun salutation, you can link standing shapes with breath. Crescent to warrior 2 to reverse warrior to side angle, breath connecting each transition. The body still gets warm and the hands still get time off. In quarter 3, down on the mat, supine and side lying work is where hands free really shines. Bridge gives you spinal extension and posterior chain work. Knees to chest gives you flexion. Supine twists give you rotation. Reclined hand to big toe pose in every direction gives you the 4 leg lines. Side lying leg circles can wake up the outer hip and the glutes. Happy baby, reclined figure 4, locust on the belly with arms resting by the sides. There's your back body strength without a chaturanga. You can satisfy every checkbox on 642 right here while the wrists rest. In the 4th quarter of class, you're finishing. You could take some restorative poses, do a breath practice, have a nice long shavasana, same as any class. The hands have nothing to do. When I lay all 4 quarters end to end, I have a complete balanced class. 642 is satisfied, movement is varied, rest and work are in proportion. There's nothing to climb toward because we don't climb. We just move in many different ways, in many different directions, and we pay attention to the balance between work and rest. 3 pedagogy moves before we close. First, lead with capability, not with deficit. Today, we're keeping the hands free. Lands differently from today we're modifying because someone has a wrist issue. The first one is class. The second one is a workaround. Same shapes, completely different feel in the room depending on how you present it. Second, I really suggest you plan once and teach the same lesson plan for a month or longer. This is one of the principles inside the SERVE method, repetition. Pick a hands-free flow, teach it 4 weeks in a row, and watch what happens. The 3rd week is really where the magic shows up. You stop thinking about the next pose and you start actually teaching the people in front of you. Your students stop guessing what's coming and they start really practicing. They start connecting. Third, remember, you are the yoga teacher in the room, not the body manager in the room. A line I keep coming back to is you are the expert on you. Your job is to hold the structure and offer the cues for your students to make their smart decisions. The students get to feel what's true for them. Stay in your scope of practice as a yoga teacher and let the students' decisions do the work. When you sign up for my Sage Advice newsletter, I'll send you my own favorite hands-free flow. And several full follow-along versions of hands-free classes live in the yoga class prep station in the movement library, where I keep more than 180 sequences, sequencing breakdowns, and teach-along videos for yoga teachers. Every class I publish in the prep station is annotated with a 642 checklist, so you can see exactly how the architecture comes together. The link is in the description, or come to comfortzoneyoga.com/prep. If you've been wanting a sequencing tool that's already organized for you, this is the one. A hands-free flow gives you the same balanced movement walked in through a different door. Build one once, and it stays in your yoga lesson plan toolkit for every student, every season, every reason you'll ever need it. See you in the next one.